Drastic times call for drastic measures. What's going on, guys? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB news / recap video. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking baseball because I need it. I need my baseball fix. I wanted to make this video a few weeks ago, but to be honest with you, it seemed like a lot of work, so I pushed it off. I got lazy, but today MLB came out with their official top 10 lineups for the 2020 Major League Baseball season. I'm crossing my fingers, man. I hope that baseball does not get canceled. There's been reports saying that it might get pushed back even past June because Apple, they said that they were going to reopen on the 27th, and now it says they might push that back, so the same thing could happen to baseball. I'm hoping that that does not happen, but what we're going to do is we're going to react to these top 10 lineups, and then at the very end, I'm going to show you guys my 1 through 30 best lineups in baseball, at least in my opinion. You guys might think I'm right, you guys might think I'm wrong. It's going to be a fun video, so make sure you guys watch as much as possible. Get your baseball fix. We're going to come out with a rant video tomorrow, so make sure you guys subscribe. We're on our way to 200,000 subs. Without further ado, the #1 team according to MLB.com, and specifically Anthony Castro Vince, I hope I said that right. There's his @ name if you guys want to go follow him. But the #1 team, according to him and MLB.com, is the LA Dodgers. So they have Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, Justin Turner, Cody Bellinger, AJ Pollock, Corey Seager, Will Smith, and Gavin Lux. When Gavin Lux is projected to be your 8-hitter, that is an insane lineup. So I truly think that having this squad, yes, it is going to be an all-time great team. If they can play at their fullest potential, you can see that Max Muncy as their #2 hitter, he's got a 927 OPS and 70 home runs over the last 2 seasons. So when he's your #2, and then you have Justin Turner followed by Cody Bellinger, and like, let's say that they bring in a lefty, you have AJ Pollock for the next hitter, and he's going to have to face Corey Seager, then Will Smith because of the 3-batter minimum. It's going to be an amazing year for the Dodgers, so I'm hoping that baseball can come back soon. And also I'm hoping that Corey Seager can have a comeback year, because if he does, you do not want to mess with the Dodgers. So they are obviously your #1 team, but maybe I should not say obviously, because the Twins, their lineup 1 through 9 is disgusting. So if we're going to start from the bottom and we're going to go 9, 8, 7, so you have Byron Buxton. He had a pretty good season last year. He's kind of a bust so far, but defensively and with his speed, he's a great player. And offensively, he kind of came around. He was on my fantasy team last year, so I can tell you for sure he might be figuring it out. Eddie Rosario, Mitch Garver as your 7th hitter. Then you have Luis Arias at #6. Miguel Sano, who just signed a contract extension, #5. Max Kepler, Nelson Cruz, Josh Donaldson, and Jorge Polanco. So between all of these guys right here, you can expect that Donaldson is going to hit 30 to 35 home runs. Nelson Cruz is going to have anywhere from 35 to 40. Same with Max Kepler. Miguel Sano has 50 home run power if he can actually cut down on his strikeouts. Luis Arias, a lot of people didn't really talk about him or know about him in 2019. The guy can rake. He could probably get you 200 base hits. He could be kind of a less powerful Jose Altuve. With Mitch Garver, one of the most prolific hitters in baseball last year as your catcher. With Eddie Rosario, Byron Buxton, Twins are absolutely filthy. So I'd have to say I agree with the Dodgers and the Twins at the #1 and 2 spot. So let's go ahead to #3. Who do they have? George Springer. So obviously we're talking about the Astros. They will be your #3 best lineup going into the 2020 season. So they have Springer, who broke out last year even more than ever before, Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, Yordan Alvarez. Now it's going to be his sophomore season, so we're going to see if the same thing happens to him like it happened to Cody Bellinger, where the league somewhat figures him out, and then maybe in the 3rd season he bounces back like Bellinger did. I think Bellinger actually won the MVP. Last year was his 3rd season, I believe. You guys can quote me if I'm wrong. Yuli Gurriel, Michael Brantley, Josh Reddick, and Martin Maldonado. So I think it really falls off for the 8 and the 9 hitters. I think Maldonado is more of a defense first catcher, but those first 7 hitters, Yuli Gurriel, he can get as hot as anyone on planet Earth. When you have Michael Brantley at the #7 spot, I think that 1 through 7, that's probably the best in baseball. But considering there's not a weakness in the Twins lineup, maybe Byron Buxton on a bad day, and same with the Dodgers. There's not really a Come on, like the Dodgers is unfair, the Twins are unfair, the Astros are still unfair, even though the 8 and 9 is a little bit shaky. The Yankees, in my opinion, also do not have a weakness. I mean, DJ LeMahieu showed that he does not need Coors Field to be an amazing hitter. He's going to get 180 base hits. He's going to hit 30 home runs. I hope, because because I don't want to jinx DJ LeMahieu because I think he's a nice guy. Aaron Judge, if he comes back healthy, so if anything, this virus that is spreading, the only thing that it can do for baseball is get players healthy, which might be good for the Yankees. And when I say might, it is going to be good because you get Aaron Judge back healthy. Gleyber Torres, he's 23 years old. Giancarlo Stanton, he's injured as well. If he's healthy and if he's in his prime, he's going to hit 50 home runs. Gary Sanchez, Luke Voit, Mike Tauchman, Brett Gardner, Gio Urshela, honestly, he was with the Indians once upon a time. I had no idea that he had that sort of pop. He also plays really good defense, so I think the Yankees, it's pretty good so far. I think this guy really knows his stuff. When you have the Dodgers, Twins, Astros, and Yankees, you guys have to let me know before we get to the 5th team. You guys might have just saw it. He says that the A's were the 5th team, so I'll just show you right now. Do you think that he's got it right so far? So the top 5, we have the Dodgers, we have the Twins, we have the Astros, the Yankees, and then last but not least, at least for the top 5, we're going to go ahead and talk about the next 5 in just a second. Marcus Semien, Matt Chapman, Matt Olson, Chris Davis, Ramon Laureano, Mark Canha, Stephen Piscotty, Sean Murphy, and Franklin Barreto. So I think the last 2 guys, Sean Murphy came onto the scene pretty hot last year. He was a rookie all year for the Las Vegas Aviators. I watched him in person, so I know that this guy can rake. And if he actually performs at his peak level, the A's, their 1 through 8 is pretty good because Stephen Piscotty, he can rake. Mark Canha, he doesn't have the best average as well as his buddy Chris Davis, but they can both do some damage in terms of power. And then Franklin Barreto, he's been in baseball quite some time, and you can even say the A's essentially returned the group that posted the 5th highest weighted runs created plus mark. It's at 107, so they're going to be really good. They technically have the 5th highest, and I think that's what this entire list is going off of, is WRC plus, and you guys can see that. So a 120 WRC plus is 20% better than league average, while 80 is 20% worse. So the A's are well above average. We could see that all of these teams are in the top 5. At number 6, the New York Mets. So if you guys are a Mets fan, you're going to have to hope that your bullpen does not implode because the offense is going to do its job, as well as Jacob deGrom, Noah Syndergaard. You have Zach Wheeler did leave, so I know he wasn't the best, but I still think that does hurt you in the grand scheme of things. Jeff McNeil absolutely rakes. Pete Alonso, again, you have to watch out for the same thing as Yordan Alvarez, the same thing that happened to Cody Bellinger. Is he going to have a sophomore slump? I don't think that he is. I think he's probably going to dip in home runs just by a little bit. Probably going to hit you 45 home runs. Then you have Conforto. JD Davis shows that he can rake. He is one of my favorite hitters in baseball. Yu Darvish says that JD Davis is one of the hardest outs that he's ever had in his baseball career. So that's saying something. Cano, Ramos, Brandon Nimmo, or Nemo, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. And then Ahmed Rosario, he broke out last year. We can see what the writer said. Conforto coming off his best full season with 33 homers, 29 doubles. Davis, he had an 895 OPS. I mean, come on. That is insane when you have 45 extra base hits. He was on the Astros before, so I can't imagine if JD Davis was still on the Astros, how good that lineup would be. But we have the Mets at the number 6 spot, followed by the White Sox. They made so many improvements. Garcia's back on the team. I completely forgot he won a Gold Glove. Then they dropped him. Then they picked him back up. I think maybe it was for lesser money because probably he was asking for too much. Then you have one of my favorite players in the entire league, the switch hitting Yohan Moncada, Jose Abreu, Eloy Jimenez. You have Yasmani Grandal, a brand new pickup. Same with Edwin Encarnacion, Tim Anderson, Nomar Mazara. I think that Luis Robert is probably going to end up as your leadoff hitter by the end of the season. So considering Luis Robert has not really played just yet, that's probably why the White Sox are at number 7. And if they bring up Nick Madrigal, I think that's how you pronounce his name, to replace Garcia, because Garcia, while he is a great defensive second baseman, one of the least aggressive and the least powerful hitters in all of baseball, he is not going to get the job done. Whereas Nick Madrigal can make some magic happen. So you have the White Sox at number 7, the Cubs. You guys know that it's pretty much going to be the same lineup aside from Jason Kipnis. He just came from the Indians. I'm really sad about that. That one's going to sting watching him. So Corey Kluber's on the Rangers, Jason Kipnis is on the Cubs, and then Ian Happ at the number 8 spot. He's always been touted as a top prospect. It just hasn't really happened for him. The Red Sox, even though they lose Mookie Betts, are still cracking the top 10. They have a really good lineup with Bogarts, Devers, Martinez. That might be the best 2 through 4 punch in all of baseball. You still have Verdugo. Christian Vasquez can do some things as a backstop. And then the 10th and final team on this list, we're going to show mine in just a second. We have the LA Angels. David Fletcher. Amazing defense, not the fastest guy, but he is pretty much the second coming of David Eckstein, just a whole lot beefier. Then you have Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, Anthony Rendon. I'm hoping that Tommy La Stella hits after Anthony Rendon, because if Justin Upton does not have a good season, it's going to limit what Anthony Rendon can do. Not really because he's that good as a hitter, but you want to see some better protection behind Rendon. Then you have Andrelton Simmons, Jason Castro, and Brian Goodwin, who actually had a pretty good season as well. One thing I want to note as well is the Trout, Ohtani, Rendon grouping, that 1 through 3. They are projected at a 130 WRC plus. That means that they're 30% better than the league average. I mean, Trout, he kind of carries that because he's projected to have a 173 WRC plus. People say that Mike Trout is overrated. I don't understand why. Hot take of 2020, Mike Trout is going to win a Gold Glove this year. So that does it for this list. I want you guys to let me know if you guys agree or disagree with what my man had to say. Now I'm going to go ahead and quickly go over my best lineups going into 2020. We're going to start with number 30. We have the Orioles, then the Marlins, the Tigers, the Pirates, the Mariners, the Giants, the Royals. I actually think I might have the Royals a little bit too low. The Cardinals, Rays, the Rangers, the Brewers, the Phillies, the Indians, Blue Jays, Padres, Arizona. We have the Nationals, the Rockies, the Cubs, the Mets, the White Sox, the A's, the Braves. I really like the Braves. I think that they are very underrated. I don't know how they did not make this list. Then we have the Red Sox, the Angels, and maybe I'm overrating the Reds, but I just think that they are going to be so good with all of their new additions, especially with Mike Moustakas and Nicholas Castellanos. Watch out for them. Then the Astros, the Twins, and the Dodgers. Or actually, we have the Yankees, then the Astros, the Twins, and the Dodgers. So I think MLB and I agree on the top 4, but then 5 through 10, it gets a little bit shaky. So guys, please let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think that I got the list right, 1 through 30? And also, what do you make of MLB.com's 1 through 10? I want to know what you guys have to say because, again, baseball is not in session, so I'm trying to bring you as much content as possible. So hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 200,000 subs. If you want to see baseball in action, whether it's MLB The Show or me just talking about it, I will be live on Twitch every single day. So follow me at twitch.tv/FuzzyFromYT. This was a lot of fun to make. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for a rant video. Don't miss it.